Hey guys, old folks here. So one of my subscribers, he asked, it was Das Les Pertrio, said, what's a casual day for a VIP 15 gameplay, compared to everybody else? I've got a video out already that I showed what I do on my other account, Crowbar, at level 84, basically, which is just spinning extra stamina, making sure I can get my stuff that I need to awaken my heroes, to get the runes that I need to level up my heroes. Sending out my armies to get supplies for my heroes. And today I really want to talk a little bit more about what is the difference between a high level VIP player and a low level VIP player. Now you might say, well, they've got all the legendaries. To an extent, that's true. There's that. Give me a second. There's a lot of other things that go beyond that. It's not just legendaries. They're higher level. So, if I come to the arena here and I look at the rankings, all these guys here that you see are high VIP players. They're going to have legendaries, which means they're at least VIP 8. We start getting into the 20s. We start looking, no legendaries, only 1 dot, no 5 stars. So we have a legendary 2 dot here. It's kind of low there. Wonder why. And so you start seeing, you see things like tech buff. They only have 3,500 and they only have a little under 10,000. And these are higher level guys, but not necessarily high VIPs things. So, you start seeing lower equipment and stuff. You'll see here, obviously, the 10,000, kind of points out. So there's this level difference. There's a power difference. If you look at me, and this is no way bragging. Don't take this as a brag. I'm sitting at 8,000 tech, which is huge. I'm sitting at 22,000 equipment, which is huge. My talents, because I'm higher level, I've already reached it. Compared to these other guys, and I'm going to scroll down just a little bit further. That are here with low tech, low equipment, no talent. They're low level, and it's because as a VIP 15. You're leveling at a higher rate. I think a huge thing that you might have caught was that those guys don't have a bunch of 5 stars. They don't have any 5 stars. Well, when you start looking through all my heroes, you notice a trend. You're going to see that when you do the Beast Soul tournament, and I look at my battle record. The guys that I fought here. What are you fighting? These are all high level VIPs, by the way. They're all legendaries. Well, you know what? I'll let you watch it. Super speed though. Woo, woo. Big guy here is Gears does all the work. For those of you that are wondering, it's all Gears. Just laying down the smack, laying down the smack, laying down the smack. Look at that 2v1, laying down the smack. Gotta love the ultimate. What am I facing? Again, these guys got 2 dots, 2 dots, 1 dots. They're 5 stars, kind of thing too. So, I mean, that's what you face. That's what you see. Oh, darn it! He took the lead again. That's a freebie. You look here. I don't want to look at that. Get out of here. You look here at my heroes again. I just have a lot more stars. I have a lot higher guys. They're going to struggle to maintain. I'm using my stamina or my gems during events to maintain a high gold amount so that I can do the leveling up required for all the skills. My academy, you're going to notice I have a 54. All my skills here are 53 100 because I just leveled it up, and I'm high up here. And so that's the advantage until really about level 85 86 that a high VIP player has versus a lower VIP player. Now, I showed Dwizzle's video of his 290k power team, a freebie team. If you're willing to commit and focus, 2 key words, commit and focus, and stay true to a path that may not be easy through those early stages on a team that works well together, you can get there in the end. The advantage of the high VIP player is they're going to get there first. They're going to get there longer. And so I've kind of talked about this before. My arena, Being first place nets me 600 diamonds a day. I've held it for 30 days plus, but for 30 days, that's 18,000 diamonds. That's more than most guys are ever going to see in the game, and I've gotten that just from holding first place. You know, that was one of my strategies coming into the server. I'm like, man, I'm going to make a new server. I'm really going to just blow it out of the water. You know, sorry. And you know, this is what I did. A couple other guys came, wanted the same strategy. You know, currently I'm winning. It doesn't mean I'm going to always. You know, sometimes I lose against the one guy. But, you know, that's the advantage. But once we hit that other level, unless you reach a VIP, what I call plus player, you have guys that hit VIP 15, which isn't hard to do. Then you have guys that would realistically be like a VIP 18 or a VIP 20, which would be huge. And then you have what I call the VIP hundreds. Those are the servers you go to where they've got 20 guys all with 4 dots, and they're just going to crush you no matter what. And there's nothing you can do about that. But that doesn't mean you can't have a freebie team sitting in 4th place on a merger if you're willing to stick out your, you know, time with it. Maximizing, again, those events and everything, and doing all that. The advantage that I have, you know, event popped up today for, gotta wait on it, for spinning the essence. I'm currently in 1st place. Not bragging or nothing, but I was sitting on a ton of essence waiting for the event so I could level up my things, you know, and that's what I did. In fact, I blew about 50k yesterday, which really upset me today, that I could have used beforehand. But I mean, that's what a VIP 15 or a VIP 14 has the advantage of. They're sitting on a lot more resources. They're able to overcome some of the time delays because they're like, I'm just going to spend 50 gems, no big deal. Does that make it fair? You know, that's hard to answer. I've played games as a VIP 0 on other games, and I've had fun and done things on some of the other games I play with my kids. And I see what the big guys have, but I'm like, this game doesn't pull me in enough to want it. But I've got some friends that play this at VIP 0, and I'm like, man, more power to you. Yeah, I'm a little bit higher level, but you know, they have just as much fun, and they've learned to work within their setup. But that's kind of the difference that you're going to see. In game, outside of the big VIP 100s, as I'd call them, you can get real close if you're willing to stick it out, grind it through, and focus on a specific team you know works well together. But that means you've got to be dedicated. That means you don't chase after, you know, 16 different heroes. You're really only going to have about 6 to 8 heroes that you're really focusing on. Those are going to be ones that are going to help you not just in the arena, but also through the different campaigns, also as well as through the Crystal Dungeon, knowing that those are the ones that's going to work with you. It doesn't mean it's easy, but that's kind of what you got to do. I hope this helps. Some of you might have some good comments. Some of you might have some bad comments. You know, there is a difference, obviously, in power and level and things like that. I could show you. I'm going to do it real quick. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm back. This is my merger server. This is not a VIP 15 account. This is the one that has Sizo that I'm working on slowly doing. But I want to look at the arena real quick. I mean, I've got 141 power, and I've got, you know, problem is I've got some heroes. Like I said, they're legendaries. I didn't do a good job in my choices. This is one of my first accounts. I spent money and spent poorly. But when I look at the ranking and I look at the #1 guys, you know, these are the VIP 50 guys. These are the guys that they've got 4 dots in everybody. They've got a team that's built, you know, that I'm never going to beat. I mean, let's just be honest. You know, but now let's look here for a second. Other than Teresa, this is a fully, and 4 dots, a fully achievable team. Possible, just take you a long time. You know, again here, this is another one. You're not going to have Vortex 4 dots, you know, unless you drop a lot of cash. Again, same thing here, you know. So these are those big boys. These were the guys that rolled into my server, and I said, forget this. I'm not going to play against them when we merged because there were just a bunch of them. But these are, you know, this is where you start getting into, I'm in the 13s now. These were the guys that were the VIP 15s. they were the big dogs on their servers, but when all the dogs came to play, they lost to the bigger dogs. So, you know, that's kind of the difference. Is there much you can do about it? No, but you can still have fun. Remember, Throne Wars requires more than one person. I only know of one server where one guy can basically own the whole thing. Yeah, it's that bad. But he did it at a lower level. Again, he was a VIP 100. Everybody else was super low because he got big that fast. But, you know, I mean, for the most part, that's the game. But hopefully this gives you an idea of the difference between a VIP 15 and everybody else. Again, this account's not a VIP 15. My one is, but, you know, that's just me. So I hope that helps you. If you got any questions or comments, feel free to leave them. I'll gladly answer them. And I hope you all have a great day.